News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. There's your closing bell for this Thursday on Wall Street, where stocks rallied at first on some positive eco data. We're going to bring you that information in just a couple of minutes. But then the market slid on worries over the potential impacts of a trade war. And of course, as always, we bring you the closing numbers each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 losing 12 points, NASDAQ down 59 points, the Dow is down 11 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.23%, and the 2-year yield is at 3.95%. Now, before we get into that eco data, we are still waiting to hear from President Trump as he is expected to take the next steps to eliminate the Department of Education. While closing the 4,000-person department would require an act of Congress, the administration is already making moves to shrink it, including announcing that it was cutting its staff by nearly 50%. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says student loans and Pell Grants will still be run through the Education Department.
As a mother myself, I know I share the concern of many parents across the country. We want our children to be bright and smart and ahead of the game. This is also, I would say, a national security issue. When you look at how students around the world, particularly in China, are being educated, American students are falling behind. We're not keeping up with our allies or our adversaries, and that's a major problem for our country. And the president is fixing it today.
President Trump is expected to sign an executive action today. Frederick Ingram with the American Federation of Teachers says the president has given no indication of what this means.
We have heard no plan moving forward from President Trump nor his administration about what education should look like, what we're going to do, and the role that the federal government plays.
The White House says the goal is to return education authority to the states. And we are just now learning on the Bloomberg terminal, a federal judge has blocked Elon Musk's DOGE team from accessing Social Security Administration personal information, at least for now. That's all we know about this right now. As soon as we get more information, we will bring it to you. But once again, a federal judge has blocked DOGE from accessing Social Security Administration personal information. Apple is going through an executive shakeup, and Siri is actually at the center of it. Sources tell Bloomberg that Apple aims to get its AI efforts back on track after months of delays. Chief Executive Officer Tim Cook has lost confidence in the ability of AI head John Giannandrea to execute on product development. So he's taken Siri completely from Giannandrea's command and instilled Vision Pro creator Mike Rockwell. The move underscores the plight that is facing Apple as its technology in AI is severely lagging industry rivals. Okay, now let's take a look at that eco data, which actually helped boost stocks earlier today. We got positive news on the real estate front. More on that with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassett.
February existing home sales rise to 4.26 million. The estimate was under 4 million, so that's good. People are buying. But the median home price had risen 3.8% to $398,400. So prices rising, which you would expect if people are buying more homes. But of course, sales are rising. That is actually very positive sentiment.
Bloomberg's Shonali Bassett. And U.S. jobless claims showed little change last week. Those details from Bloomberg's Vinny Del Giudice.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell describes the labor market as low firing, low hiring. Fresh data show weekly jobless claims are running at a relatively low 223,000. The total number of Americans collecting unemployment meantime is running near 3-year highs, a sign it's taking longer to find a job. As the Fed chair says, low firing, low hiring. Vinny Del Giudice, Bloomberg Radio.
There is a new richest team in pro sports. Sources tell Bloomberg News a group that includes private equity chief Bill Chisholm is buying the Boston Celtics for a record $6.1 billion. Bloomberg's Randall Williams on the role private equity could play in future acquisitions.
It's really going to depend on what they'd like to invest in. Now, the Celtics are an iconic franchise that we see succeed all the time. I mean, we're talking about a championship last season. When you're thinking about the NFL, for example, when Aries bought into the Dolphins, that deal included the Hard Rock Stadium. It included the Formula One Miami Grand Prix. It also included the Miami Open. So it really depends on what an institutional investor is looking for.
Randall Williams on Bloomberg's Open Interest. The takeover is the biggest NBA deal ever, surpassing the $4 billion valuation in a deal for the Phoenix Suns back in 2022. The Trump administration is reportedly poised to extend the deadline for Chevron to halt its operations in Venezuela for at least another 30 days. Chevron lobbied the White House for more time. U.S. officials have already indicated to Chevron that it will be allowed an extension, but they have not given exact details. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris, and this is Bloomberg.